Hello everyone, I'm the Crummy Archer, and let's take a look at the IndieStone Dev Diary for July 27th, 2023. Starting with possibly the most exciting of the new stuff they showed off this week is a number of new items coming in the next build. IndieStone specifically mentioned a number of new containers, including the guitar case seen here. They also showed us a new use for sheets, which is to craft them into a basic container called a sheet sling bag, as you can see in this video they provided. I think this will be a great addition to the early game, where players are often forced to go without storage until they can find a bag. To have the option to just make one with available materials is a nice touch. And besides, it's always nice to collect more crap early. In addition, they also showed off a bunch of new law enforcement / military gear, including new sheriff and SWAT versions of the duffel bag, also new gun and rifle cases, and Alice belt and suspender webbing in multiple versions. If you look close in this video, you can also note a new SWAT helmet, and the bat the character is carrying at the beginning appears to be metal instead of the traditional wood that we've seen up till now. They also touched on the farming revamp they're working on, specifically saying they're working on the systems of fertilizers, compost, and pests. They had no art to show in this Thursdoid, but I'm sure there will be some in the future. We've been able to paint the walls in Zomboid for a long time, but soon we'll be able to put wallpaper on them. This video you're seeing now is the process needed to wallpaper a wall. I'm slightly bummed to see that it still requires a complete demolition of the wall to begin with, but otherwise looks pretty cool. They also say they've been working on new internal development tools to help streamline production a bit, which should also be helpful for modders. The first of the two they mentioned is a utility that exports item display names from their scripts to create new translation files. I'm not a modder, so I don't entirely understand what that means, but it seems cool. The slightly flashier tool they mentioned was a tool to reduce the tedium of building new maps. Map makers will be able to zone areas, seen here, to control what spawns in a given zone. In the odds and ends section of Thursdoid, they discuss the work that Dev Turbo has been doing on the new crafting station and machine systems, which they will go into more detail next week, but will affect things like gas station wells and water pumps. The upgrades to the engine are also progressing. They've been trying to squash the bugs that arise, but also mention the potential for characters to finally be able to sit and lie in all four of the various axes of the world. The final major item discussed in this week's Thursdoid was the continuing work on the soundscape. Devs Michael and Mateo have been working on various aspects of the soundscape, mainly with multiplayer in mind. Among the changes they mentioned were a rebalance of the ambient setup to make it more coherent, bringing back some of the volume filter changes with the zoom level, improving the zombie voices so that when you get bitten to death, the mix doesn't wig out anymore, and making the zombie vocals and animal noises play better over the music. They also mentioned the potential of making the player's "hey" call out have a number of different voices to choose from, so not everyone in multiplayer has to sound the same. To close this video out, enjoy this lovely video they provided of a nice ambient barbecue. If you look close, you might spot a few new items in the mix.